And what's cracking, you guys? Welcome to the Mango Grove. How's everyone doing? Can you guys hear me all right? Let's do a voice check, a mic check, a sound check. Is the volume good? Is the music all right? Am I good? Are the ratios good? Music to Krisha. Is the music to Krisha ratio good there? All good. Okay, sweet. Let's see who we got in here. Michael's in here. Morning. It's the first one in here. I live under the 200 MA is in here as well. You're now just 200 MA for me. Salmula's in here. Good morning to you. To Ben Tai, how's it going? Let's go indeed. Daniel Medina's in here as well. Marin, Core, Waz Chow. All right. Julian, Ariza. You guys make my day. Okay, let's get in. You know what? Let's just cue the intro because something's happening on the chart. Dun, 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 dun. What's cracking? Are you guys seeing this? Let me just zoom in. Look at this action, guys. The volatility has picked up, and how? Funny enough, I was just I was on the C chat just now, and you know what? I mean, this is looking like a bull flag that wanted to break out, and it sort of did break out, only for it to then dump. Okay, so now this is it right here. Let me just go ahead and draw it out for you guys. I posted it like quite immediately on the Grove chat as well, in the main Mango chat. So yeah, this is the current price action on Bitcoin. So we are going to be dissecting this picture today. In addition to some interesting observations, we're going to be going over the Bitcoin halving date, as well as I'll be taking you guys through historic price action leading into the Bitcoin halving. Okay, I think it's going to be an interesting one. Let's unwrap this one together. What say you guys? And of course, we're going to also be getting into the altcoins as usual. Alrighty, so don't you worry about that. I feel all of that juicy action right now is on Bitcoin. I know, what a wick indeed, man. Like, look at this. Always freaking Bitcoin. No rest, no rest. BTC breakout, false breakout. Yeah, looking like a false breakout for now. So we had actually quite a bit, we have an interesting picture right now, and I wanted to sort of draw this picture out for you. Right, let me take you on over to the weekly time frame. Let's go ahead and sort of dissect what we've been talking about now for some time. I'm gonna go ahead, take this out. Do I need this? Okay, this is a part of my active targets. All right, so right now I have a couple of active targets, right? We've been talking about this for some time. Bitcoin's zone of oscillation, 72.3K, going all the way down to 63.2K. Midpoint, guys, coming in at 67.7K. But on the 12-hour time frame, get into your 12-hour time frame, we actually had some pretty decent closes that I want to talk to you guys about today. All right. So I noticed this. On the 12-hour time frame, guys, if you get on over to the Mango dashboard, let's get into the Mango dashboard quickly. Right here. Okay, get into the Mango view. For those of you who have access to the premium dashboard section, you're of course going to find this on app.mangoresearch.co. Get into the Mango view. I want you guys to get into the 12-hour time frame on Bitcoin and go ahead and switch on your bullish FVGs right there. Okay. So this is the picture I saw. Like, even on the 12-hour time frame right now, this looks like a bull flag, right? Bull flag, but check out the 12-hour closes relative to the FVG level. All right, at around 69.7K is the FVG support right there. So the picture that I'm seeing right now is, all right, Bitcoin consecutive 12-hour closes over the bullish FVG on the 12-hour time frame, which has been freaking sweet. So far, guys, every time we've penetrated the FVG, there are like these liquidity zones. When it does penetrate it, you often see that gap getting filled. Right, we saw the same thing happen right here on this FVG zone. Once again, this one right here as well. We penetrated that gap, filled to the upside, closed over, and now using it as support. Start using your FVGs to get in those good bid opportunities. Okay, but in addition to this, yesterday we saw something else on the Mango dashboard, and what was that? Well, get into the actual trend profile. So first of all, if you look at your daily market-wide trend, we have longs as well as you have volatility hovering at 70. Not too long ago, guys, if you remember, this was actually hovering at neutral, right? But more importantly, if you look at Bitcoin's entire trend and volatility profile, there's that one time frame we've been using as our barometer to help us stay on the right side of Bitcoin. And what was that? It was the 12-hour trend, right? This was also neutral. This flipped long just yesterday. We caught it yesterday on video, right? On our yesterday's live stream. So yeah, 12 hours long. Now we're beginning to see follow through on that. Okay, so, and this is the picture I saw unfolding. I said, okay, closes over 12-hour FVG, amazing. 12-hour trend, which has been our barometer, okay, for Bitcoin, also long, just flipped long yesterday. In addition to that, we have on the lower time frames, we have this bull flag, right? And also notice Bitcoin currently living over the midpoint of the zone of oscillation from 72.3K going all the way down to 63.2K. Now, you guys know how much I love these midpoint plays. It's simple. Sometimes all you need to do is just keep your TA simple. And yeah, it sort of respects all of these regions, right? Also notice the midpoint between, well, the current zone, which is the midpoint of 72.3K, also once again holding that as well. So it's a relatively decent picture. Yeah, for now, we did get a fake out to the upside, but let's see. I think there's still more time left on this candle for us to see some follow through from the bulls. All right, ultimately, guys, if I'm looking for Bitcoin to drop further from here, number one, of course, on your 12-hour time frame, look for, let's go ahead and put on our Mango Dynamic indicator. Okay, Dynamic also coming in at the midpoint swing right there. All right, so I would actually look for Bitcoin to start losing the midpoint, okay, lining up with Mango Dynamic support as well, for us to then be like, all right, prices are coming down even further. All right, so notice, wow, we got the momentum here just squeezing right there on the equilibrium tracker. So yeah, this, for now, I get it. People are looking at this as a fake out, but we still have some more time left on this candle for us to get a proper tell, because oftentimes you'll find that fake out to the upside, fake out to the downside, only for price to then make that legitimate move that it wanted to make in the first place. Just trying to crush longs and shorts with high leverage. Exactly, exactly. Going through the comments, through the chat. Did I just say comments? I'm so used to doing daily videos. I think this is like the first time in a long time where I've done like consecutive live streams. Also, guys, please let me know if the volume is all right. I can hear the music sort of there, up pretty strong. The volume is high. Maybe it's just for me. Market manipulation. You're gonna see a lot of this. It's very classic Bitcoin. Yeah, Mark, so it turns out I just had to like settle the volume on my actual volume settings, like my mic settings. It was like super high. It was like hovering at, I usually have it at around the 50 mark, but this is like, when I last checked it, it was hovering at around 80. So that's why it was peaking like insane, and I just went crazy trying to figure out the issue. Yeah, it was horrible, and I could hear it. And the worst part is sometimes I'll just like do an entire daily video, I put it into my editing software, and then I'm like, this volume really sucks, but I'm so tired that I cannot possibly do the entire daily video again for you guys. So I'm just like, all right, figure this out in the next one. Hey, thank you, Abba. I love the hats. I've actually ordered myself like a whole bunch of hats. I want a Bitcoin hat. I was telling Sean that. I'm like, I want a Bitcoin hat. Or like a Plan B hat. Or so, I don't know, something Bitcoin. But then again, I'd probably only wear it on live streams, because if I wear it outside, I feel like I'll just be revealing too much, you know? Can be revealing too much there. Okay, so let's also go into, well, the Bitcoin halving. Right, I told you guys we're going to be talking about that. Bitcoin halving, of course, based on block height, but this is like the rough estimate for now. 24 days, 6 hours, and 9 minutes until the next Bitcoin halving. And yeah, this is something I'd mentioned yesterday. We're going to be actually dissecting it on the chart today. But the observation on the Bitcoin halving is this. Every time we get into the Bitcoin halving, there's usually a dip either pre-halving or post-halving. I'm talking about the monthly candles, either 1 month pre-halving or 1 month post-halving, okay? And just to drive this in, I've actually gone ahead and I've actually drawn out the various halvings for you. So far, we're getting to the 4th halving for Bitcoin. The first one took place in November of 2012, second one in July of 2016, third one in May of 2020, and fourth one, of course, we're getting next month, month of April. Man, we're closing off the month, guys. We're closing off the month. Yeah, 4 more days. But here's the thing, okay? Oh man. Shut up, Krisha. Just do a poll. Do a poll. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna tell you the observation. Then I'm gonna go ahead and put a poll, and I'm gonna let you guys answer and to give me your thoughts on what do you think, okay, is gonna happen next. So like I said, we usually have a pullback, either pre-halving or post-halving. Now this was the halving of November of 2012. And notice, okay, if I just get into this price action right here, right, the month of October is where we actually saw that pullback. Notice that was a red month for Bitcoin, right? A red month for Bitcoin. That was a good 27 from one shadow, the top shadow to the bottom shadow, all right, 27% to the downside. All right, but that came 1 month. It was a red monthly candle pre-halving, 1 month pre-halving. Okay. Now the second halving took place in July of 2016. All right, now this one, the month of the halving was when we actually got that pullback leading into the next month as well. So the month of July and August were both red months for Bitcoin, and I believe that should have been a 40% dump. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah. On 34% to the downside. Okay, but notice the month of the halving and the month post-halving, we saw actually a pullback. However, that pullback, I want you guys to notice on the monthly time frame, that was just another higher low as far as the cyclical, as far as the cyclical standpoint is concerned, the cyclical picture is concerned. Okay, just a lower high on the chart. Aha, Krisha, come on, a higher low on the chart. Okay, so that was the second halving. The third halving, okay, was this. The third halving was us getting out of the COVID dump. This was May 2020. But notice, when did we get that next red monthly candle? That only came in on the next month, right? The month of June of 2020. That's when we actually got that red monthly candle. That was the pullback on Bitcoin. Once again, only to put in another higher low on that trend, right? This was a good 15% to the downside. Also, let's go ahead and check out what that one was. So this one was 34%. No, this one was, sorry, I'm just getting a bit confused there. Sorry, my bad. Okay, 23% on the first one. The second one was a good 33%. I'm just trying to see if there's any sort of trend here. Are we like pulling back on the pullbacks? Basically, are we getting, is the magnitude of the pullback lower as we go through halvings? I don't think that's the case, because the first one was 23%, second one was 33%. The third pullback right here, let me go ahead and pull that up again. That was 15%, all right? So there's no like sequence or sorts of there. So yeah, this was 15% to the downside, but notice, however, the monthly was a red candle post-halving, okay? And then this is the next halving, April of 2024, next month. And so far, guys, no red candles whatsoever. So the question is the month of April going to be a red month? So we usually get at least one red month, either pre-halving or post-halving or during the month of the halving, right? So what are your thoughts? Let's go ahead and put a poll. I thought it was an interesting observation, and considering that Bitcoin has not had a red month since what, August of last year. Man, that's crazy. Guys, that's crazy. 10 months, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 months. 7 months of just green candles only. Yeah, Ben, honestly, Ben, I genuinely think that even when we do get the pullbacks, okay, let's just say, for instance, that April is going to be a red month. Okay, we see pullbacks across the board because that's just how it all floats, right? There's these markets, at least the crypto market, is highly correlated. Yeah, you're going to find some outliers here and there, but it's correlated for the most part. However, I find that if you guys go ahead and do the back testing, now I've done quite a bit of back testing. Of course, I cannot do it on every altcoin, but I'll do it on like a basket of altcoins. The observation is this: during that halving pullback, the altcoins tend to pull back as well. And as far as the buy the dip opportunity is concerned, if we're really, really looking to allocate, well, our funds, I say the best place have been to allocate it on the altcoins as opposed to Bitcoin on the pullback during the halving. Okay, now this is just a general observation I've made. I still suggest that you guys go ahead and do your own back testing, but I find that this next halving pullback is usually a buy the dip opportunity on the altcoins than it is for Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin is also going to rally, but as far as the magnitude of the moves are concerned, I feel like it's the altcoins' time to shine. Robin Rayman says up to 75K early April, then pull back for a red month. Yeah, I think that's like pretty freaking plausible, right? Because who knows? Honestly, if this starts breaking down here, I see closes over the monthly, the midpoint as well. We could very well, and okay, just calm down, Krisha. I tend to like think about like a whole bunch of things all together, and then I sort of I go on various tangents. So if I ever do that, I'm really, really sorry. It's just that I have a lot going on right now. So here's the thing. Now you can see that this is a really, really ugly candle so far, where in fact we've swept the lows here on the 4-hour time frame as well, right? Look at that. Look at that. This looks like it wants to drop further. Now we have another 27, 8, 9, 10, 4 days left on the monthly candle. We start closing underneath the midpoint. I'm saying we're coming back down to 63.2K. Right. Getting back down there during the monthly open of April, I'm saying I think there's a less chance that April goes on to put in the high at around 75,000. I say we drop down further from 63K. Where to from there for Bitcoin? Well, default into your weekly dynamic. I mean, it would be really sick if we could get the weekly dynamic test, but once again, my T remains the same. I'm looking at the, okay, whoa, okay, yeah. So we have weekly dynamic coming in at $54,000, but in addition to the weekly dynamic coming in there, that red line, guys, is not just me smacking a line out on the dynamic indicator. No, that is also a momentum target that I have for Bitcoin, and I've extrapolated that target using the current price action on the chart, using the momentum, using the volatility, the volume as well, and I've taken all of this information, I've extrapolated these targets from that. And it's lining up with the dynamics, so we're seeing confluence on that region at 54.2K. I think the best, that would be the bid. Honestly, getting into April, if we actually start losing 63.2K, I'm saying next bid opportunity only comes in at 54.2K. Down here. All right, but notice, it's always going to be an if this, then that. I know people, they often look towards me and Sean be like, no, give us the call. Is it going up? Is it going down? You're not saying anything. No, guys. Trading is about probabilities. You got to assess the probability based on where price is at relative to these key regions of support and resistance, relative to all of the entire technical picture. Right, we got to really understand what the market participants are doing. What are they telling us right now? What is the current sort of sentiment in the market? You see all of these candles here? It's not just price action. Every candle, and this is something that I always mention in the Sprouts program, these are human beings. You got to like sort of humanize the price action for yourself. Right? What are the market participants really telling you on the chart right now? What are they feeling on the chart? Right now, if you just look at this picture, okay, I don't want to jump the gun here. We're going to wait for a bit more price action. But I say this, if we start taking out this wick low, let's go ahead. What is that going to turn into? That immediately, like I can just see it play out, right? The sellers have won out. There's a lot more selling pressure coming in there. This turns into an M-like formation where we've essentially put in a high, we've put in another lower high, down, okay, sweeping the lows and then break down from then on, right? That is an M-like formation breakdown. But then again, do I still trust the bull market momentum? Yes, yes, yes. I still think that we're in a bull market, okay? The next low is just gonna be another higher low on Bitcoin's cyclical view. And Sean had asked me something. He's like, okay, Krisha, when do things really get iffy, right? When do you guys think things get iffy? If I had to ask you that question, what are you guys going to be looking at? I'm keeping this simple. And this is something that we've been talking about since the last bull market. What is it? What is it? There's this one target that Sean mentioned, and I'm like, no, man. If it comes down there, it's trouble for Bitcoin. It's trouble for the entire market. I would not want to see price come down there. I think he mentioned like 45,000, 42,000. I'm like, if prices come down there, it's gonna be scary. Do I have it on here? Let's go ahead and put it on. What is it? Do you guys know? 10 SMA? Get into your monthly. Okay, 45 is still going to be okay, but anything past this region right here, you can see the 10 SMA is still climbing up, right, to price action. It's a very, very steep, very aggressive slope right there. But I say monthly losing that 10 SMA, we're very far from it right now. That is going to be a sign of trouble for Bitcoin. I don't want to see that happen. Right now, the monthly 10 comes in at around 39. You can just round up to $40,000. So anything less than 40,000, in my opinion, is going to be trouble. That said, if I see a bid on the monthly 10 SMA, that's a gift. Why is that a gift? When I'm saying that, hey, losing the 10 SMA is going to be trouble, however, the monthly 10 SMA test is going to be a gift, what do I mean by that? I mean that managing any position off of the monthly 10 is going to be friggin' easy. You're just gonna know when you're wrong exceptionally fast. Like, it doesn't get easier than that. This is a cyclical play. I don't think it's gonna come down there. I think that's gonna be too much of a gift, and if we get that, the market would be being too generous in my opinion. But yeah, that is the level that I'm gonna be looking at right now. I say price is likely, this is at the very least gonna climb up to $45,000 come next month. But yeah, monthly 10 SMA, dropping below that is going to be a sign of trouble. Right now, we're far from that. Keep it that simple. TX6S says, I wanted to go back to 45 or 52 at least. Yeah, like 45, I think 10 SMA climbs up to 45, April. A 54 would also technically be a good bit, right? I mean, from where price is at, let's just take it from 1 wick to say 54 if we get it. There's a huge if, right? That's going to be a good 27% to the downside. That's a very, very healthy dip on this overarching picture for Bitcoin. And Core from the Mango Seed program, just today in the Seed chat, he had actually posted this entire beautiful Bitcoin pattern that he found. And the target sort of takes it up to $78,000. And for those of you in the Seed program, I followed that up with another diagram from the Mango Seed Clubhouse. Because if we start breaking $78,000, I think shit's gonna hit the fan. I genuinely think that what comes next is going to be diabolical. And I think that is the scenario that no one is really anticipating. So let's ask, okay, let me see what you guys have to say about, is April going to be a red month for Bitcoin? 60% of you said yes. Okay, that's interesting. and 40% of you are saying no. And Bean Eater, from once again the Seed program, he had something very interesting to present in the last Seed Clubhouse, right? And that should give you some pause in where prices could very well sort of head towards. He's done a lot of analytical, a lot of quantitative research based on his Bitcoin's historic price action. He's looked at all the quarters, and he's had some very interesting research as well. This could, month of April could end up being a red month. It could end up being a red month. So I say closes over the midpoint right there. That's going to give me a pause for a red month for Bitcoin. Midpoint, guys, for those of you who won the number, please go ahead and take note of it. It comes in at around $67,700. John Gunnery says, overall market is in euphoria. So when S&P finally tops, okay, S&P 500 finally tops May or June, but April goes red now and turns green in April then. One thing I want to check here. Fear and greed index is extreme greed. Oh. Are you guys feeling greedy today? The noise is beginning to pick up if you look at social. So the other day, the way when my PC starts up, I get like MSN Discover and stuff that just sort of pops up. It's not a voluntary thing. I just need to sort of reset that. But anyways, it just did. And it just shows me the top news in the, well, in my geographic location, plus it has like this Discover tab, things that are trending. And I was really surprised to see that Business Insider had a post recently that says, how do you invest in cryptocurrency safely? What really stood out to me there was that it was Business Insider, plus it's a cryptocurrency post, plus on a tab that was trending. So we're beginning to see that noise sort of pick up, the interest, the public interest pick up, but I don't think it's there yet. It's when it gets into your Instagram handles, your Instagram profiles, and that's all you see on Instagram and Facebook maybe. That's when that should give you pause in that, okay, things are getting frothy. That's when the extreme greed is coming in there. When all of your influencers that are always jumping onto the latest trends, when they start getting into it as well, that's when you know that, okay, things are getting frothy. When very, very popular watchmakers start putting the Bitcoin logo on the face of the watch, that's when that should give you pause. There's one watchmaker that I follow, and they've just been so successful in calling the top that I'm actually very amused by it. I'm just so amused by it. So I've actually, this cycle, I've actually just gone ahead and just followed their Instagram profile just so I can keep up. As soon as they announced the freaking Bitcoin watch, I'm like, the cycle is done, guys. I know, it sounds so absurd, right? But I don't know. These guys, they just have such a good knack for just calling the top. It's insane. So I have the watchmaker signal. I got my my family signal as well. I'm going to make a mom and dad indicator. When they ask me, should I buy Ethereum or should I buy Bitcoin or should I buy XRP? When I tell them to buy, it's like, goes in from one year, goes out the other year. I need Shervin. Shervin, apparently he's been very, very successful in really, you know, getting his family to convert into a Bitcoin only family. That's amazing. When he told me that, I'm like, damn, that's amazing. For those of you who've actually managed to accomplish that, freaking good on you. Yes, hit the likes, everyone. If you have not already hit the like, please do hit the like. Like, you don't understand just how long of a way it actually goes. People don't just say it for like shits and giggles. Like, it actually helps YouTube push the video out to more people. Best regards. Oh, thank you. Raincoin. Is this okay? Best regards from Raincoin. Is this a new coin? Is this a new project? Let's go back into the dashboard. Wait, what? Bitcoin's long, 4 hours long. Okay, returns 7% volatility, freaking hovering at 12, guys. Don't underestimate the bulls here, still. Like, it's not over. It's not over. Like, we've seen a lot of times where Bitcoin will do this, it'll flush the bulls out, it'll flush the bears out, only for it to then pick a direction in earnest, right? So be careful, and this is another thing that I'm going to tell you. As soon as the volatility picks up, not just on Bitcoin, okay? Now, yeah, Bitcoin's volatility is already up, but it's going to get, we're still sort of in a range of oscillation. When these coins start breaking out, Bitcoin as well as the altcoins, I'm going to say this, be careful with leverage. Okay, be very, very careful with leverage. Ask yourself, when you actually put on your trades, when is it that your position gets into trouble, right? And ask yourself, is it plausible that price actually gets down to those price points that could get you into trouble? Because oftentimes people will go like max leverage, okay, so to say this is the trend. They'll go max leverage, okay, on one of these pullbacks, but they could actually get liquidated on a pullback this minor. The issue with getting liquidated on a pullback this minor is that they might actually be right on their overarching direction. You know, the asset might very well pull back. However, they just got chopped out of their trades. And the issue with that is that if you get liquidated on something like this, you might not be wrong on your overarching direction, but because you just went gung-ho on the freaking leverage, you got knocked out, right? So make sure that when you are putting on your trades with leverage and the volatility does pick up, assess that price point where you are suddenly in danger and ask yourself, if prices do come down there, am I necessarily wrong on my trade? If the answer to that question is no, you're not wrong on your trade, but you might still be in trouble on your position, you need to reevaluate your position size. All right, give yourself some breathing room when the volatility does pick up. There are oftentimes I'll see that people just get liquidated out of really, really good positions only because they just didn't know how to handle their risk. Okay, so that's just one key note to take down if you intend on, well, actively trading the swings in this market. Exactly, poor entry execution. How's it going, Wilvy? Hello, hello, hello. Hey, thank you, John. I'm really, really glad that you guys have been enjoying these live streams. But any other questions on Bitcoin? We've gone over the Bitcoin halving date. Let's bring that up again. Where is it? 24 days. Now, this is, of course, an estimate. This is based on block height. The event block height should be 840,000. Okay, right now we're sitting at 836,519. So now this is just a rough estimate of when it's likely going to take place. Okay, but it is going to be in the month of April, so it really depends on whether or not that month of April could be a red month or not. Oftentimes, historically, we've actually had a red month getting into the halving or either slightly post-halving, but it's usually been a red month. Now, that has been a 100% hit rate from the past 3 halvings that we've had. Question is, do we get it one more time? If we're just going based on historical price action, we might very well get it, right? But I'm always going to tell you guys this. If you really have to sort of fall back on fractal plays, on even like things like historic events versus your TA, always, 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 always fall back onto your TA. Always. I promise you, it's going to keep you safe. I don't care what it is that you're trading. You could be trading a freaking meme coin on some random freaking swap exchange out there, and all you're seeing is a chart on, say, DexScreen or CoinGecko or whatever. Your TA works there too. Your TA is going to work there too. Even on the shittiest of shit coins out there, your TA is going to work. Okay, even if you get a call from someone else, although please, if you're taking calls, all right, take the call. Do you know how to manage the risk on that trade? Do you know how to manage your entry? Do you know how to manage your exit? Or are you going to be relying on a call to even exit that trade? Because if you are, that is an absolute recipe for disaster. Take it from someone who went through that in the first bull market cycle for Bitcoin. All right, absolute disaster. The best thing you can do for yourself is really understand how do you go about really fleshing out these charts? How do you go about actually, you know, dissecting the TA on them, finding those trade setups and understanding how to manage your risk, and when are you wrong on that trade? Ultimately, being a profitable trader also means you knowing how to be a good loser. Okay, do you know when it's time to take the loss on a trade? Do you know when it's time to be taking profits off the table? Right, a lot of people we know freaking big won millions, I kid you not, tens of millions of dollars on this cycle right here, and they gave every single dime back to the market. Every single dime. It was rags to riches, back down to rags. Don't be one of those guys. And of course, if you're looking for resources, check out the links down in the description below. There's a Sprouts program, there's a seed program. If you're a trend trader, you want to capitalize on these massive trends, check out the seed program, guys. Let me just go ahead. There it is. Okay, Mango Seed program. Sean is your guru here. Okay, he's going to walk you through everything that you need to know to make you guys a profitable trader. Go ahead and check out what everyone's got to say. In fact, one better, just get into the Discord chat and speak to the seedlings yourself. They're all in there. They're in the chat right now as well. All right, so just go through it. There's no better starting point than the seed program, guys. I'm student zero of the seed program, so this is the one thing I can and will vouch for. Changed my life. Absolute game changer. Like till today, these markets could be running and Sean and I were thinking of leaving for the beach. Yeah, again. Can you check out the weekly time frame on the Mango View? I like that FVG for dips. Of course, Mock, for you. Yes, sirree. Okay, Mango Dashboard, get in there. Let me just zoom out. Okay, I already have my FVGs on. Oh, snap. Guys, weekly FVG as well. Is it the same zone, Mock? It is. Look at that, 52K to 59K. Guys, take note of these numbers. For those of you who have access to the Mango Dashboard, use these FVGs. Like, I cannot stress enough just how well it works. Okay, just look at this one right here, okay? This was the burst out of that 45K region, right? We were in that $45,000 consolidation. This was the breakout move right here that came in on the week of Feb 5th. All right, notice what happened. Went through an FVG, okay, this is where the FVG was actually built, but we came down on this candle, wicked right off of the FVG and then off to the freaking races. This was what on that candle? This is the candle that took it all the way up to $64,000 from around, what was the low, $50,000 to $64,000 freaking dollars. $14,000 on that move, but you got an amazing bid just based on that FVG support. All right, so start using your FVGs to your advantage, and it's also going to help you understand when is a coin likely going to start falling as opposed to when do the bulls actually have control over that picture, right? When you start seeing support on key FVG regions, it's telling you that, hey, the bulls still have control, right? Especially when you're uncertain about a certain technical picture, right? Use your tools, use your technical analysis foundations to help you get a better sort of grasp of who's in control at any given point in time. So the FVG is one of those tools that we can use here to tell us exactly who is in control and at any given point in time. Because sometimes, yeah, you're going to find consolidations, right? But the FVG is going to keep you on the right side of that, telling you, okay, do the bulls have the edge here or do the bears have the edge here? That's a lot of information for you as a trader. Thank you, Kitty. All right. Yeah, guys, FVGs, guys. please. And this, I mean, it's not just Bitcoin. Get into all of your altcoins on here, okay? Whatever altcoin you're looking at, you have every single chart available to you on the dashboard to go ahead and pull up your FVGs on, right? So go ahead and do that. Cool beans. Any more questions on Bitcoin? Guys, mothership Bitcoin. Let's go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the effery on this chart. Just sweep the bulls, sweep the bears. So, okay, let's put in another poll. Close. Can I just start another poll, or do I have to end the, I think I have to end the current one. Okay, as far as the current one is concerned, guys, is April going to be a red month for Bitcoin? 52% of you said yes, and 48% of you said no. This is almost like a 50-50 split. Very interesting. Of course, guys, getting into the monthly close, I will be giving you guys another update on where we close relative to our key regions that we've discussed in here today, okay? So I'm going to end this poll. Let's see what the next one is. Let's put in another poll. Okay, new poll is up. Does Bitcoin break up or down from here? So based on this candle that you're seeing here, which looks like a bit of a spinner, still within the range, believe it or not. Do we break up or do we break down? Based on the current 4-hour picture for Bitcoin. So go ahead, answer that poll. It's going to be a very interesting one. The results. Whoa, Bitcoin dominance is not playing here, guys. Jeez Louise. Alrighty. You know, okay, all this while I've been talking about Bitcoin dominance, and I've been telling you that, hey, we've been getting rejected at 54 percentile mark, and we have, which technically also gives the altcoins a bit more. It's giving the altcoins an added sort of edge, right? Not edge per se, I think edge would be the wrong word, but it's giving the altcoins a chance to shine. Chance is the right word. Okay, it's giving the altcoins a chance to be like, ta-da, I'm here, let's go, off to the races, watch me outperform Bitcoin. But there's one thing that I'm seeing on Bitcoin dominance that I've been very averse to saying it out loud. Okay, now as a pattern trader, I love patterns, you guys know me. TA works here too, by the way, but I know a lot of you guys have been talking about this, y'all have been seeing this, but this is a legitimate pattern playing out on Bitcoin dominance right now. It's not broken out there, not activated yet, but it's there. It's an inverted head and shoulders pattern. Through a pattern standpoint, through a technical standpoint, the psychology here is that of a bullish, it's a bullish tilt, okay? When you see an inverted head and shoulders pattern, that is a bullish pattern. So that's something to note. We start breaking out of the neckline, Bitcoin dominance is going to start out. Bitcoin dominance starts rallying. So what does that mean for the market? Well, as far as what does that mean for the market, I want you guys, like I said, I mentioned this yesterday as well, right? Start being a bit more, don't look at this through a binary lens, okay? It's not a binary thing. It's not a binary picture. Bitcoin dominance, first you need to establish, is the market pumping or is the market dumping? Right? And these markets, crypto is correlated. So first of all, figure out the answer to that question. Are we pumping or are we dumping? And then come and look at Bitcoin dominance. If, say, Bitcoin dominance starts breaking out and the markets are pumping, okay, it means that the Bitcoin is it's pumping harder than the rest of the altcoins. As far as your capital is concerned, your capital is best allocated into Bitcoin than the altcoins, because chances are Bitcoin is likely outperforming altcoins in that moment of time. Okay, that is if the market is pumping and Bitcoin dominance is rallying. However, if the market is dumping and Bitcoin dominance is rallying, what does that mean? It means that your altcoins are dumping harder than Bitcoin. That's what that means. So you're still better off in Bitcoin than you are in the altcoins. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your portfolio is going up. No, it's just going in a dump scenario. It's just that it's holding more steady than it could be holding if you were allocated completely into the altcoins. I hope I'm sort of, I know I could be a bit confusing, but I hope that in time I'm able to sort of flesh out this thought a bit more for you guys, a bit more clearly. But yeah. So first establish if the market is pumping or dumping, and then look at Bitcoin dominance to get a better grip on what could be happening. Where is your capital best allocated towards, Bitcoin or the altcoins, or maybe even USD? Who knows? Okay, let's look at the poll. Does Bitcoin break up or down from here? 70% of you said up. Wow. And only 30% of you said down. And we got 51 votes on this. Insane. Okay. Whoa, you guys. Bloody bullish. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, Frank, we start breaking out this range. I'm saying, yeah, 60% is on the books. That would be freaking wild though, eh? Like something drastic has to happen. Yo, Ben, like I was actually on my tab trader and I have Sui on the list. And like this morning I woke up and I'm just looking at, it's the first, I cannot believe I'm saying this, but that's the first thing I do. I just look at my tab trader. And then I get into my socials, but look at my tab trader and I'm like, everything is red. It's like a sea of red. And there's just this one coin that's like up 15%, 20%, which is Sui. So yeah, we'll be going over that today. Yeah, what's going on with Dixie? I think Julian mentioned Dixie too. It's crazy. You know, that's the thing. Bull market, when you're in a bull market, I just screw the fundamentals. Whatever. It's like you gravitate. Sean is like, Christian, don't say that. No, when I talk about fundamentals, I'm really talking about the other sort of TradFi markets, you know, looking at rates and stuff. But honestly, guys, let's face it, okay? If we were looking at Dixie, if we were looking at, you know, the inflation numbers, and we kept looking at it while completely ignoring price action on the chart, the thing is that these numbers still stayed relatively bearish. Like the entire macro picture still stayed relatively bearish, right? And if we had to heat to that the entire way through, we would not have called Bitcoin bottom last year. We would not have called a reversal on Bitcoin last year when the bull market actually started in earnest. Right? We would have still been like, oh no, this is still a bear market. Check out the macro, check out the inflation numbers, check out what the Fed said, check out this, check that out. No. Heed to price action first. Don't be stupid about this. Like the thing about, you know, with the thing about Fed speak, the inflation numbers, there's just so much that can go wrong with how you extrapolate the information from all of those numbers, how you extrapolate the picture from all of that. Right, because there's various sort of externalities, various branches, and to really bring the entire picture together, I mean, it can be so subjective. it can be so subjective on how you interpret the numbers coming out of the fundamental side of things, right? Coming out of all of the FA. So as far as really banking on which side is concerned, should you be banking on price action or should you be banking on the Fed speak? Price action. Like, you can mess, you honestly, there's very little chance of you actually messing this up. So yeah, that is to say that while Dixie was doing all of this shit and, you know, Fed speak had its own thing going on with interest rates and, you know, we had inflation numbers, the job numbers, as well as, what else? A bunch of things. At one point, you got to call a bull market, start leaning towards the side of the price action. As soon as price action tells you that, hey, we are reversing here, just heed to that, okay? As far as Dixie's concerned right now, what's happening? I don't understand. We're still sort of oscillating, right? We start breaking up from here. Dixie starts rallying to 107. I think Sean is your man in terms of giving you guys a better sort of more he's been following global liquidity, and he's been very, very good at understanding when is it time to be looking at your T, when is it time to be looking at your FA. Like, Sean gave you an entire broad thesis on what you should be looking at, and he's been following the entire global liquidity conditions. And in fact, last year he had noticed something big. Last year is when Sean told you that, hey, now's the time, you know, liquidity is sloshing around. We're beginning to see the signs of it coming back into the market, right? And we actually saw that on the charts. We saw that on SPY, we saw that on NASDAQ, we saw that on Bitcoin, right? So yeah, we'll try and get Sean. There we go. FA is useless short term. Exactly. FA is useless short term. FA is only good for like years out. You're looking at cycles, the cyclical plays. That's when your FA actually works. There we go. This man is like ahead, guys. So Sean is he's been grinding. He's already putting together another broader thesis for 2025, and so far he's been on the money. Like, for those of you who've actually been like, he put in so much freaking work. I hope you guys were there listening to all of that. Like, that was so much alpha for you guys, just given away in such a succinct way for you to understand exceptionally well. Like, even I didn't understand that stuff, and all I had to do was watch one of Sean's freaking videos on the Mango Dashboard Premium section right here, right? He basically dropped all of the alpha right here on the premium videos, right? You guys got like an entire thorough 360-degree view of the TA, the FA, what to look at, what not to look at. Everything was just given to you right there on a platter. People have to pay thousands and thousands and thousands just for that information that you just got like that filtered out. So start paying attention to the premium video section, because yeah, it's trade setups, but there's also these macro theses that he draws out for all of you, right? While Bitcoin was hovering at $17,000, he was calling 24K, he was calling 42K. Right? This is when we were at 17K. So while people were looking at $13,000, $14,000, Sean was like, no, this is going up, 24K, 42K, here we come. Think ahead. And if you don't have the time to think ahead, that's freaking fine. That's fine. That's why we got the Mango community, right? For us to actually come together, draw our resources in together, and help each other out. You might be strong in something that I might not, I might really, really suck at. Right? But this is where we can all help each other. Okay, so start getting to the Discord chat, start contributing, because people then will feel a lot more free to actually contribute all of this shit that they found. He is the GOAT, guys. Like, you don't understand just how much work he puts in. You don't understand just how much work he puts in, and especially in terms of really filtering out and really understanding, not understanding, but helping. He tries to articulate everything he's found in a very, very succinct way. One that where it's like an ELI 5. Easy for you to understand with the tools and the knowledge and the mental models that you currently have right now. Right? He's a freaking genius at it. Like, the SEED program is a direct testament to that. Think of just how much he broke down in a very succinct way through the use of analogies and other various stories throughout the program. Like, it's very, very enjoyable. Up, up, and away Bitcoin. Let's go Bitcoin. We need a Bitcoin shirt. Why don't I have a Bitcoin shirt, Sean? At least a Bitcoin hat. I think I'm gonna get a Bitcoin hat. I'm gonna get a Bitcoin hat, and yeah, I think I only feel strongly enough for Bitcoin. A mango hat. Yeah, mango and Bitcoin. Merch, yeah, man, we've been talking about merch for like the longest time. And I think I do have some designs already ready. I just gotta like put it up there now. Okay, let's get into the altcoins. What say you guys? As far as does Bitcoin break up or down from here is concerned, 67% of you said up. 32% of you said down. And the halving month is 4 days out. Sean, what are your thoughts? Let's ask Sean. He is the mango way he's handling the current handle. Sean, what are your thoughts? Do you think Bitcoin goes up or down? The month of April, rather. Is it going to be a red month or a green month? Let's ask Sean. Oh my God, Mark, I think that would be insanely good. That would be so good. We call them poor. No, Sean, my question is does the month of, so okay, this is the observation, okay? The observation is that getting to the halving, either 1 month pre-halving or 1 month post-halving or during the month of the halving, it's usually a red monthly candle. Now, so far, we've had a good 7 months of just green candles. 7 months. All right, so what do you think? Do you think that the month of April ends up being a red month for Bitcoin? Look at these guys. Like, the fun hasn't even started, and they're all already calling bull market end November 2024. Although, yeah, that's usually the duration. I don't have a strong opinion on that. I do know that a red month is a buy. Okay, fair enough. But the ETF event was much easier to play. Yeah, everyone thought the ETF event was a sell the news event. Turns out it was a buy the news event. Yeah, I think that the month of March, the magnitude on the candle, if you look at the size of this candle, yeah, it still could very well go red. 4 days, we all know how Bitcoin can move in 4 days, right? But like I said, take it one step at a time. You guys have the levels right now. All right, these are the levels that we're looking at. This current zone of oscillation, 72.3K going all the way down to 63.2K. Watch for the midpoint, because as soon as we start losing the midpoint, that's going to give you the tell in that, hey, we're coming down even lower. As far as the monthly level is concerned, we're looking at 59.8K. Yeah, so honestly, for us to turn red on the monthly, we have to start losing 63.2K first. So there's a long way to go. What do you get? I think the fear, okay, is going to be, okay. I think the fear is going to be to the upside. What's going to drive intense fear? And I mean genuine fear, or like despair even. Is it going to be like a crazy move to the downside? Is it going to be this? Okay, actually, let's get into the weekly time frame. Okay, is it going to be something like this? Or is it going to be something like this? What's going to drive despair amongst the masses? Yeah, I think that feeling of despair is gonna come in if we get like these intense volatile moves to the upside. And I think from every scenario that has been presented, I think this one has been under-presented. Like, people are shooting numbers out there, but I want you guys to imagine this happening in like 3-4 months. 3 months. How would you feel? I have, like, what is this? Okay, this target, just looking at this, ballpark, okay? $150,000, okay? Just if I go ahead and smack a line up right there. What's gonna hurt you more? 150K in like the span of this, like say June, okay? Or $45,000 in June. What's gonna hurt you more? Yeah, I think everyone is ready with their buys, like on $45,000, $50,000. I could be wrong. I mean, I could very well be wrong, but I'm genuinely asking you guys, what's gonna hurt you more? Where is the despair really gonna step in? Now, as someone who, like, I know that I'm really comfortable with my Bitcoin allocation, although I'll say this, when prices do end up going up, I'm always like, I wish I had more. It's like, irrespective of how much Bitcoin you have, you always wish you had more, right? But now I am like, I fall into one category where I have sort of allocated as much as I could at certain points, right? But then there are certain people who are not as allocated. They sold at, say, $42,000, $45,000, hoping for a much deeper dip. And, well, the market did not give them that, right? So they are here, they're left without their positions. So they are hurting, and yeah, they're looking for those pullbacks. But I'm trying to gauge the level of despair depending on the direction of price action. Where does the despair actually step in at? And that's the thing, Wolvie says, well, they'll be likely to FOMO if they don't get the dip. And that's another thing that I feel like that's going to drive momentum, you know, on this one. Because of the amount of people left sidelined on Bitcoin. And maybe they're not sidelined completely now with the current state of the market. I feel like a lot of them have started building their positions in. But as soon as prices start to rally once again, they're going to feel like this intense FOMO. And that FOMO is going to drive in what? More buying activity. They're going to start pulling out of other coins, or maybe pulling in more fresh capital to deploy into Bitcoin, hoping that they don't miss the move, hoping that they could finally, in a way, sort of get the allocation that they wanted to get in the first place, although it's going to be difficult. Now, with prices going up even further, collecting Bitcoin becomes that much more harder. But I think that the true despair is going to come on volatile, note the words that I'm using, volatile moves to the upside for Bitcoin. I'm talking about intense targets that no one saw coming this cycle. Let's ask you guys another question. So as far as the poll is concerned, does Bitcoin break up or down from here? 69% of you said up, 31% of you said down. Interesting. So far, we're living over the midpoint. For as long as we're living over the midpoint on the current range of oscillation. I'm saying, yeah, I think even I'm leaning to the upside for now. Now let's end this poll. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys a pretty sick question. Ready? Go. The question is, can Bitcoin get up to $500,000 this cycle? Yes or no? I love how Ben Tai and I were just like, yeah, let's do this. We're like Bitcoin fangirls and fanboys. We could be cheerleaders, Ben. We could start like a whole cheerleader squad. Always like 500,000 rookie number. Waz Chow where? Bump those numbers up or down? Wolvie, I kid you not, wants it to just like shoot from here. He's like, must we come down? Must we come down? 200 MA says 500k, that's it? Why so bearish? You guys are scaring me now. The hopium is real. Okay, no, let's actually look at the results. Okay, so far, can Bitcoin get up to $500,000 this cycle? 32% of you said yes. 67% of you have said no. And this is, by the way, okay, just to clarify, assuming that 500k is like getting in. Am I saying this right? 1 second. At the very least, it gets up to 500k. Yeah, it could overshoot, but 500k is on the books. You know what, Wolvie? Wait, are you talking about Wolvie? Imagine Bitcoin dumping and ETH pumping. I don't know, man. I think. You know what? I genuinely think, I think Sol might actually be the winner this bull run, just through the entire sort of market dynamic perspective. I feel like Sol might have this. I was telling Sean about this. It's got like a story building for it, you know, where it's like playing the Ethereum. It's like Solana is last bull market's Ethereum. Does that make sense? It's gonna play that role in this bull market. So I think Solana's buy pressure is primarily gonna come in with all of the on-chain activity on Solana. Like, people need Sol to transact. People need Sol for fees. People would rather be sending Sol into the swap exchanges, into their hot wallets, to then go ahead and get into whatever coin that they want to get into. But that sort of is going to drive that demand for Sol. And I spoke to you guys. Let's actually get into Sol quickly, okay? Solana. Look at this. Guys, are you looking at this? Look at the dashboard on Solana. Guys, did you guys see this? 12-hour to weekly longs, 4-hour, okay, fine, it's neutral, but volatility, reset, freaking flags, bullish divergence on your 2-day time frame. On your daily time frame, sorry. Are you guys seeing this? And I genuinely think that Solana's targets, the target that I presented, you guys are effing bearish on it, man. I think it's plausible. Now, I mean, I was trading on the Solana chain recently, you know, throughout this entire week, actually. I think Radium sucks. It sucks ass. Sorry for my French, but I see the story. I see the narrative for Sol. And I feel like people are completely underestimating what it can do. Like, I gave you guys a bull market target. Okay, let me just get rid of everything else. I don't want to get rid of too much because I am doing daily analysis on Solana. But if we go ahead and just take the measured move. Okay, now this is just based on a pattern measured move for Sol. Okay, take it from here, place it on the break. Okay, now this overshoots to $2,300. Okay, let's just say it goes up to this white line instead, 1.7K. I presented this target to you guys on the daily videos, and I was really surprised to see how many of you don't think that this is possible this cycle. 846% on Solana. And I think Solana, right now, it's got that recipe to send it to those numbers. Like, I feel like it's got this weird freaking demand. Like, as someone who was trading on the Solana chain, I went in to buy Sol from one of the centralized exchanges, and I looked at that chart. I'm like, man, this chart doesn't look good. It looks like it wants to fall. I'm like, whatever. I need Sol, so I'm just gonna go ahead and buy it. But think of my thought process there, right? Even as an analyst, I'm like, okay, I can see the chart. Would I buy it on a normal day just to hold Sol? I'm like, no. But why am I buying it? I'm just buying it to go and get into other altcoins, right? So that's just going to automatically drive that demand for Solana. Now, I could be then either deploying the entire thing into whatever altcoin I picked, or maybe I could be saving some, but still, now that stash is just sitting there in Solana. Zenith Paul. He's like, Solana equals meme. Honestly, yeah, for now. Yeah, I need to try Jupiter. Radium was absolute garbage, like trash, like effing trash, man. It's scary. Radium is actually legitimately scary. Like, you don't know if your swap has gone through or not. Like, you get the pop-up, and sometimes it just disappears, and there's no notification. You don't know, has it gone through, has it not gone through, are my funds still there, or is it not there? You just gotta guess. You just gotta hope for the best. It's like hopium. They should rename it from radium to hopium. Hope that everything is Safu. Hope your transaction has gone through. Hope that your transaction got canceled. But yeah, guys, Solana looking good. Currently, this is, I believe, middle of the range. Since we're on this chart, let's go ahead and dissect it. I believe we're currently hovering over the midpoint right here. Midpoint coming in at around, let's take it from here. Actually, let me just go ahead and fix this a tad bit. Okay, this is the level. It's a range. Range it. Zone it out, my friends. This is the zone. Okay. Hey, is this a... Okay, gotta zone this baby out. Take it from here to the bottom. Currently midpoint falling in at 170. Let's go ahead and draw out another good line segment. I really like being exact with my numbers. I'm a bit of a stickler there, but it's helped me. But yeah, currently living over the midpoint monthly, eh? Could get another, if you're lucky, you might get another test of 170. Easy one to manage. But yeah, guys, this is Solana. So oftentimes, Alvaro's question is, how does one ideally position oneself in these markets that often jump in fast parabolic move? The typical strategy to wait for a break doesn't give you a chance to place a trade at SNR. So what are you trying to do? So there are two different types of traders, okay? There are your pullback traders that get in on the consolidations, and then there are momentum-based traders where you actually are looking for that momentum to first pick up for then to you for you to then get into your trade. So I as someone who's tried both, you first gotta really understand your temperament as a trader. Okay, how do you really want to position on this? So I always thought that my temperament was that of a momentum-based trader, right? And that's what I tried in the last cycle, and I found that I sucked at it. I'll be honest with you. So this cycle I changed my game and I said, okay, let me try a different sort of, let me try a different style, right? That's when I sort of had to really sit down and really assess my temperament as a trader. And I started getting in on the consolidations. I started getting in on levels, and I had tremendous luck. And so I've been doing exceptionally well, touch wood. But it's been a great experience, and I found that I've discovered something new about myself as a trader. However, now if you are a momentum-based trader, you can get in on the pumps, right? Now, when I'm stuck in that position where, hey, you know what, I want to build, now every time I do get in on the momentum breakout, I'll get in on the pump, okay? Now, in that instance, I've sort of been sharpening my skills in that I'm not waiting necessarily waiting on the pullback, but instead what I do is, say this is a region of, I'm teaching you something that I've been trying, and it's been working out well. Say that, let me get something right here, okay? Midpoint, actually no, let's get something else. Let's get this region right here, okay? Breakout of a region of resistance, momentum is picked up. Say we did not get this retest, okay? Say this was just blank, all right? Instead, I know that, hey, this is a breakout candle, looks good. What I've been doing is on the breakouts, I'll catch the breakout, all right? But I'm reducing position size. By how much? I'll look at that entire freaking range. I'm like 11%, I'm reducing position size by that much. So I start like understanding when am I placing a breakout momentum trade. Now, because I'm doing that, because I did not catch it on a level, I have to add that into my risk parameters as well. That becomes a part of, okay, this is a risk I have to endure. Prices could drop back down to this entire zone, but I still might be right on the trade. I gotta understand that. But how do I intend on managing this position? What can I do for myself to help me manage this position better? Well, one thing that I can do, and I do have control over, is my position size, right? So at that point, I just start trimming down my position size if I know I'm getting to that momentum break, right? So that's one way in which you can catch the breakout without having to wait on the pullback. Not recommended still, at least I would not recommend it to someone who's just beginning their trading journey. But if you're advanced in the journey, then yes. However, risk management first, and fix your position size. For those of you in the seed program, get in here. Let's go down. Where is it? Okay, there you go. You guys, like, up till today, I kid you not, I was on the beach. When we were on the beach last month, I wanted to take a trade. I actually went back into the room. I went through my risk management system first to just keep me on the safe side of that. Up till today, I don't care where I am. I have it on me at all times. It helps me just stay on the right side. You get the entire system here. Go through this entire thing, understand it well enough, okay? And use your tools to your advantage. It's gonna keep you on the right side, even in instances where you're getting into a breakout trade, where Saul, when you're getting into a breakout trade, it's still gonna keep you safe there too. Okay, because that entire system is going to be tailored just for you. Just looking at all of your risk parameters, your risk appetite, your portfolio, right? You can use that entire system to help you, but that's just one way in which I sort of get into the momentum breakouts now. If I am doing that, I'm reducing size. Simple. It still is the biggest edge of our entire system. That was like a blessing. The seed program is just, the risk management is gonna blow your freaking mind. I still cannot, ask Sean. Guys, ask Sean. I cannot take a trade without it. I just cannot. I refuse to. I refuse to. I've been burned too many times to just know now to not F around with my risk management. And sometimes you gotta work with your weaknesses. I know that I can get, there are times where I do get emotional on the breakdowns. You know, if I'm wrong on the trade, I need to assess that, hey, that's a weakness for me. I'm not gonna fight against that. I'm gonna work with it. I'm gonna see what I can do for myself to help me deal with that weakness, as opposed to trying to fight it and then losing anyways. So yeah, this is one thing, guys. Just first assess your temperament as a trader. Ask yourself, is this even your style? And it's okay if you have to change. It's completely fine. Just come to terms with that. That's a beautiful part about being a trader. There's so much that you discover about yourself in this journey. It really shows you the mirror in like multiple facets of your life. You're able to see yourself truly for who you are. In your losses, in your wins, how you react to certain market conditions, you are shown a mirror in this world. Then you can take everything that you learn and then translate onto the rest of the facets of your life, whether it's with your family, with your friends, at work, whatever it is. You become so much more confident, composed as a human. How's it going, quick trader? Itachi-kun just joined. What's the update on ADA? We haven't gone through ADA. Let's actually go and take a look at it. Start with the dash. The bulls lost, not lost per se, but they're waning off on lower time frames. 4 hour, 12 hour, we got a reset here. Trend neutral, volatility 838. Daily, however, short, 69 volatility. The bears still could take this down a tad bit more. They have a bit more of juice left in them right there. But I'll say this, make sure you got your alerts set in on ADA, because if we start seeing a pickup right here, I do believe that ADA is still currently in its zone of support. If we start seeing a pickup right here, we're going to see these trends start flipping. But these flips now are going to be very, very crucial. Why is that? Because say you get this neutral turn back into a long again. Notice your volatility at 8 and 38. What is that telling you about the bulls, the side that's just taken over? It's telling you now that they have a lot more juice left in them now to take this baby up once more, but in a big way this time. Cardano has not had a volatility flip in a very, very, very long time. I think the last time Cardano actually had blue numbers on the volatility was in Jan or Feb. Early Feb, Janish was when Cardano actually had really decent volatility numbers. So keep an eye out on the trend flip right here. Make sure you have your alerts set in. As you can see, I already have my alerts set in on the 4 hour, 12 hour, and daily time frame. So yeah, that's going to be a huge tell. That's essentially going to tell you who's taking over next. Okay, so watch on the trend flips. ADA USDT chart. Let's get in. Actually, I want to go in from here. I have my main chart on my sidebar. I always tell myself I'm going to clear this chart, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I just don't end up doing it. I really need to sit down with this. Okay, Cardano. Daily dynamic. I noticed that we're getting rejected off the daily dynamic right there. We could come back down for another test. I want to see a bounce here, I'll be honest. Bounce and then reclaim the daily dynamic level. I think reclaiming the, reclaiming the daily dynamic is going to be very, 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 very important for the Cardano bulls, because you can see that this has been a signature so far on the intermediate trends, right? Cardano takes out the daily dynamic, we just trend on it the entire time. It's a complete hack. Daily dynamic, weekly dynamic on Cardano is going to keep you on the right side of it. All right, so far, every time it does begin a trend, it's been trending on the dynamic, where in every touch is a region of support. That's where the buyers start pouring in. That's where you actually start getting those rallies coming in. It's only when we break do you actually, does the chart actually tell you that, hey, look for those deeper pullback opportunities, right? You can score a better bid on Cardano. Once again, we started the trend right here off the races. Only when we broke to say that, hey, you can now look for a deeper pullback on ADA, and we got just that, right? It's been a complete hack. All right, so once again, If we are looking for continuation on this trend, look for closes over that dynamic resistance right there. For those of you who want the numbers on it, please go ahead and take note of it. If you don't have access, it comes in from around 66 cents, going all the way up to 67 cents on that dynamic cloud. All right, now, of course, if you are trading it aggressively, then definitely look into getting the dynamic indicator, just in case I'm not there to give you guys the levels, because we have new prints on the indicator with every new candle open. Yeah, I want to see it hold a mid, Mock. I don't know. I want to see it hold a mid. I think it would be weak for the bulls, for the bears to take this down once again. I want to see some buying coming in right here. Man, this has been like this region has been a plague for Cardano, honestly. It's been such a plague. This entire freaking zone. It's just been a war zone. It's been a freaking war zone since April of 2022. It's still a war zone. But I think the selling pressure, the sellers might start getting exhausted here. I'm hoping that they get exhausted. But hope is a bad thing. Don't hope. Just fall back onto your TA. This is what the TA is telling us so far. Cool. What other altcoins are we looking at before we wrap this baby up? We'll do 2 more altcoins before we wrap up. As far as can Bitcoin get up to 500K this cycle, the question, 33% of you said yes and 67% of you said no. Oh, interesting. Inspector Crusoe, what chart are you looking at? Cardano? This zone right here is a massive liquidity zone. Every time you see, and what is liquidity? Liquidity could be anything. It could be buying liquidity, it could be selling, right? It's these major zones of contention where you actually find the liquidity actually pouring in. Now this has been one, this entire red zone, we've been talking about this for like months, right? You can even see through these wicks right here, massive zone of contention. When you see these zones of contention, that means these are all liquidity zones right here. Right, coming in from 68 to, well, 63. The next one that I see on the chart, quite honestly, comes in at $1.16. But based on what's happening here, $1.16 right now, I feel like the more time we spend here, $1.16 loses its allure. We're gonna find a bit of we're gonna find a stutter stop on there, but I don't know if the sellers are gonna be in the mood to be selling there. But yeah, that's the next sort of zone of liquidity I'll be looking at after we make our way past this. Thank you, Quick Trader. Yes, Ariza. In the last video, I told you that I would take a look at Harmony 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at 1. 1, Volatility 1. Both look exhausted, Ariza. For now, like, what's good here is that your higher time frames are long. Okay, that's essentially what you want to see if you're trading any altcoin right now. I don't effing care. I don't care. You're in a bull market. At the very least, your 40 and your weekly need to be long. Okay, if it's not long, you're in a shitcoin. It's opportunity cost. Bull markets last only an average of 2 years, so don't be sitting into anything that's opportunity cost for you right now. So anyways, I think, however, that the lower time frames, you might be getting a better bid opportunity right now because they look a tad bit exhausted. Okay, but let's actually go ahead and take a look at the chart right here. What you want to see, honestly, Ariza, is for the volatility to sort of reset, but you still want to see a relatively bullish picture, right? And what's important is that you want to see follow through. When you see these long trends, right, at the very least, you want to see your returns hover on those positive numbers, especially when it's had 48 hours, it's had 24 hours, it's had a long time for the bulls to show their hand in a bull market. So you want to see some power there. Okay, so make sure you're keeping a track on the volatility profile right there. And of course the trends, let's get into 1. Okay, let's see what we have here. This is a nasty, too many drawings on here. It's cleared, you know, it's cleared. This is... You could get a pullback into the zone. I'm saying get a tad. You can technically get a tad bit greedy on the bids. We've activated a double bottom formation. We got a breakout right here. You're seeing sort of lower highs on this entire consolidation. You might actually get a better bid getting into this red zone, Riza. So I'll say you can get greedy on the bids. So get greedy on the bids, okay? Because what does that do for you? It essentially helps you catch bids on levels that are going to be super easy for you to manage. That way you can get into the trade, but as soon as you're wrong, you know that, hey, you're invalidated. You can get out with a minimal loss, or sometimes if your bid is good enough, you can even get out in a bit of a profit, because oftentimes when prices break regions like that, they'll come back up for a retest, okay, and then you'll find that breakdown. But that retest essentially gives you a chance to get out of your position, all right, with either a minimal loss, like I said, or a slight profit. But this is still looking good right now. I think it's more of a bid zone. We're getting down into a bid zone than a sell zone, you know, because this has sort of it's a pattern that's activated, broken to the upside, coming down up for a retest. You can see that we actually got a bounce on the level as well. If I go ahead and take the measured move for this pattern break, we are looking at a potential move. So say we rally from here, okay, say we actually bounce off the red zone, rally from here, we're looking at a move going all the way up to 10 cents. But yeah, I say you can get greedy on the bid. That move is going to be a good 234% to the upside. Marina Patinios. Am I saying that right? I'm sorry if I'm botching the name. I try. Yeah, let's do ICP. Okay, of course, this trend looks freaking longs across the board. Bullish, 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 bullish. Returns, you are up freaking on the 4-hour time frame, guys. On the freaking 4-hour time frame. This came in 6 days ago. It's been long. It's been bullish for almost a week now. All right, you're up 66% on the 4-hour time frame. However, I will say this, the bulls are beginning to look very exhausted here. Okay, look at the volatility, 84, 96, 96, 87, super high, super red, very frothy. Right, they're saying that, hey, it's showing signs of exhaustion, plus check out the flags, 4-hour potential bearish divergence. All right, so I'd say ICP might be presenting people with a potential pullback opportunity. So let's go ahead and check that out. So this actually did end up breaking to the upside. Amazing. Amazing. What is this red line that I drew there? Was that one of my targets, my momentum targets? Forgetting. You see what happens, guys? When you dissect too many charts, you forget. If I'm really assessing the next resistance play on the weekly time frame, it actually only comes in at $23. I'll have to go back into my previous analysis to see where I got the other red region from. I'm sure there was merit to it, but this still has $23.53 as the next target to the upside. All right, but that said, let's get into the 4-hour time frame. I want to see what we have here. What are we playing with here? Oscillators, because we saw potential 4-hour divergence, right? As far as the 4-hour divergence is concerned, it's hinged on the RSI. Okay, this is pretty clear. Clear. Lower highs on RSI equal or higher highs on price action in the same corresponding period. We start taking out this wick low right here. Just look at the lowest point of the range. I'm saying bearish divergence gets activated. So I'm sure on the 1-hour time frame this is likely an M or something. But $18.61 is the lowest point on that range right there, that mini range. Get into the 1-hour time frame. This is a channel, it's not an M. So yeah, we start breaking down, then further down we come. I think the best bid right now to catch on ICP. It's tough, I'll be honest. We got an FVG, Mock? Where's all my drawings? There we go. Might get pulled down into this FVG level right here. Of course, the best bid on the FVG would be bottom of the FVG range, because then you also sort of knock into weekly, a weekly region of resistance now turned into support. But yeah, that would be the FVG zone. So if you can get it, I think it would be a relatively easy trade to manage, or even if you want to build on your current ICP position, you can do that. Would I be jumping into an ICP trade right here? No, middle of the range. In fact, the dashboard is literally telling you that, hey, the bulls are in that zone of actually getting exhausted. So heed to those calls, right? If you can get a good bid, why not wait? Overarching view, even if we do get a pullback here, ICP is still looking freaking fantastic, right? This is still a cup and handle like formation. We have an official break right here with this current candle. This will take ICP all the way up to $87 to $90 right there. This is a good, what was it, 500% to the upside? Almost 500% to the upside. Thank you, Bon. Also, yeah, guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that. Any sort of good backtesting things that I find, any good systems that I find, I will be bringing it up to your attention, of course. So, yeah, sub. No such thing, Ricky Sweet. Bitcoin just follows Bitcoin. Bitcoin is all just liquidity. I feel like Bitcoin... Altcoins is to Bitcoin as Bitcoin is to TradFi, as far as liquidity is concerned. Because if you look at Bitcoin, would be considered far a tad bit out the risk curve, right? If you're looking at the entire asset, the market of, say, a basket of assets with, say, S&P 500, NASDAQ, and then you add Bitcoin into that basket, you'll look at Bitcoin as the riskier stock, right? So when there's more liquidity in the system, I feel like that's when you start seeing liquidity pour into your risk on assets. Now, Bitcoin would be in that basket of risk on, right? If you just go and look at an investor that is more into the TradFi space, they look at Bitcoin as something exotic. And when that liquidity gets a lot more intense, that's when you see more getting poured into the altcoins. And that's why I say Bitcoin is to TradFi as altcoins is to Bitcoin. Right? So it really depends on just how much liquidity we're seeing in the system right now as a whole. Then you can sort of understand when is the next sort of push for the altcoins. And we're beginning to see that. We're beginning to see looser sort of conditions. So I don't know, Reza. I really don't know how you get to know when a new meme coin will launch. Thank you, Quick Trader. Quick Trader says, I liked and subscribed. Guys, if you have not liked the video yet, please go ahead and do so. And also hit the subscribe button. We are going to be covering the last coin right now, which is QNT. Let's do it. Oh. This could see a pullback sometime soon. Bulls are looking exhausted here on the 12-hour and the daily time frame. However, today looks as potential bullish divergence. What I would look for in QNT is honestly for the volatility profiles to reset on the 12-hour and the daily. So even consolidations can do that for you. It can reset the volatility profile while keeping the trend relatively healthy, relatively bullish. So that's the recipe that you want to look for on the dashboard. Okay, you don't want to see the side get too exhausted there as far as the volatility profile is concerned. QNT USDT. So crazy just how many coins like you guys bring up to my attention. I'm like, what coin is this? And then I go onto the chart and I'm just like, oh, I've clearly dissected this before. QNT up against resistance. So I was telling you the bulls are a tad bit exhausted. So this is up against resistance right now. I'll say look for breaks, honestly, because even if you get a break past 138, I personally would not be taking a trade here because it's clearly up against resistance. Breaks past 138 could actually send this to 165. That's still a very, very good, neat swing to be had, 18% to the upside. But for now, I say wait on the pullback. Might score a better bid. $116. Alrighty guys, I am tired. This was a fun live stream. Did you guys enjoy the whole halving thingamajig? Remember guys, halving? 23 days, 17 hours, 49 minutes. This is based on block height. As soon as Bitcoin gets up to 840,000, as far as block height is concerned, that's when the halving actually takes place. We're currently at 836. Oftentimes we get pullbacks either pre-halving or post-halving or during the month of the halving. And, well, so far we've had a 7-month run on Bitcoin. I'm on the right chart? I think so. No, not the right chart. But yeah, a 7-month run on Bitcoin. If I just take you on over to the monthly time frame, show you this. Right, so question is, does April turn into that month where Bitcoin actually has a red month? Time will tell, but so far the bulls are looking healthy on this range. It only gets red. They're only at risk of really losing it once we start closing candles underneath 67.7K. For those of you who want to take note of that number, go ahead and do so. Okay, because at that point, we're looking for continuation down to $63,000. And it's only when we start losing 63K do I say that, hey, we are looking at a red month on the month of April. Okay, so you have an if, this, and that. You have all the levels drawn out for you very, very clearly. So I personally am going to be heeding to these levels, and yeah, this is the analysis on Bitcoin, on your altcoins. Of course, more live streams to come. Until then, I hope you'll enjoy this one. If you did, please do smash the likes. It goes a very, very long way for the channel. And if you're not in the Discord chat, join the Discord chat. If you're looking for links to the Mango dashboard as well as the Mango dynamic indicator and stuff, you're going to find it in the description down below. Mango dashboard can be found on app.mangoresearch.co. If you are looking to, well, really hunker down and learn how to do this, you want to do this, you want to become a trader for the long run. You want to be a profitable trader, there is nothing better than the Mango Seed program. I can vouch for this one. I'm student zero of the program. Everything that you see on all of the live streams and all of the daily videos is a direct product of everything that I've learned here, and I suggest getting into the chat and actually speaking to all of the seedlings if you want to know if, well, the seed program is a good fit for you. Alrighty, now I hope y'all enjoyed this video. With this, trade safely, trade stress-free, trade the Mango way, trade the easy way, and thank you so much for tuning in today. Ciao, you guys.